Absolutely huge breaking news surrounding Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, and it appears now there is an investigation. We're going to have to talk about that. Plus, in addition to that, All In AEW might have some surprises. We're going to talk about what's been revealed, what might be revealed, what to expect, and we do have a major update on the TNA TV deal. It's all coming up right here, right now on the Ango Show. And as always, if you guys want more videos like this, go ahead and click that subscribe button. This way I could constantly bring you guys up to date with professional wrestling news. We're going to talk about AEW All In. It is this weekend, and of course, there's a lot of people who are really excited about All In. AEW starting to catch strides again, which is great, but it appears that they might have something huge in the works. Now, Fightful Select came out with a report that Sting, Bryan Danielson, Ric Flair, Jake the Snake Roberts, Paul White, also known as The Big Show, and more AEW talent are set for signings and possible appearances during the week. Included in that even is Big Boom AJ as well as Big Justice. You know, the Costco guys. Boom, boom. Okay, you guys get my point. In addition to that, we also have to keep in mind that AEW, while they technically don't own StarCast, we know that Conrad Thompson is bringing StarCast for the weekend. And because of that, there's going to be a ton of talent there, which includes Kevin Von Erich, Dory Funk Jr., John Bradshaw Layfield, as well as Mark Henry, Tito Santana, and Monty Brown, who, you know, he doesn't do public signings. It's probably been, 14, 15 years, something like that. And then, of course, you got to keep in mind Cora Jade will also be at StarCast. A lot of people will be in town. Matt Cardona, Priscilla Kelly, a.k.a. Gigi Dolan, Shotzi Blackheart. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that. We also know some international talents are coming in. Blue Panther is also expected to be around. Fuego del Sol, a.k.a. KJ Orso, Ninja Mac, Ricky Morton, because of GCW. TNA also has a little bit of presence there, too. The Inspiration, Indy Hartwell, Masha Slamovich, Brian Myers. Obviously, you know, they're contracted to TNA, so they probably won't appear on AEW, but it is something to kind of keep in mind. You never know. Obviously, there's a lot of potential surprises here. There's a lot of things that could potentially happen. The one that really actually makes me the most excited, though, Sting and Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson's been taking some bumps lately. You never know. Maybe he gets involved at All In. In fact, I'm just going to throw it out here first. I think Bryan Danielson is going to help Hangman Page win the belt. I think he's going to help. I think he's going to hit Jon Moxley with the running knee. And I think Sting also being there would be pretty cool. I could see him making a cameo. Obviously, he continues to be an ambassador for the company. Obviously, no longer wrestling in ring, but it is something to keep in mind that it is a big possibility. So just keep that in mind. And with that being said, we're going to turn our attention to our next topic, TNA. We got a TNA TV deal update. This one is really exciting to me because there's a new article that came out from JohnWallStreet.com. And it's basically talking about TNA's momentum, talking about the WWE NXT partnership, talking about a TV deal. And, you know, TNA has been just doing really good stuff, man. Like TNA has been, they've increased their ticket sales. They've increased their viewership, their attendance. A lot of great things. We have all kind of heard rumors of TNA getting a new TV deal. I've heard a lot of specific things throughout the last 2 years. In fact, I even came out about a year and a half ago telling you guys, hey, give us some time. They are working on a TV deal. It is going to take a little bit of time. They are going to do bigger venues. A year later, we started seeing bigger venues, and we started hearing more and more talks about them in TV deals. In fact, we recently covered a video with them getting some regional TV deals. However, what's really cool is that in this article, this is an interview with Carlos Silva, who is the TNA president. And basically, it goes on to say that TNA is confident that they will have a new TV deal within 60 days and are working with CAA to secure $10 million in funding. So, obviously, everybody kind of knows what's at stake here. The question is, how does TNA go about it? TNA is going to get a new TV deal. It's inevitable. They are going to work with a larger TV partner. They have the synergy with WWE. They are doing a lot of good things even without WWE. TNA will be able to get a new TV deal. I have heard rumblings of other potential networks that could potentially be the TV deal partner. I do not feel comfortable to sit here and throw them out there. I have seen a lot of people say some random TV networks, and those are not the ones that I've heard. So obviously, if you're seeing it out there, more than likely it's not true. But with the TV deals that I'm hearing that are potentially possible that may have had interest in TNA, one of the things that I've heard consistently is that maybe TNA will not go live every week, which I can understand that. So that kind of remains where like TNA will do a couple live episodes here and there, and then everything would remain pre-taped. I would like to see, hopefully, they just go live every week. I've also heard of them possibly changing days. But again, these are not things that I have confirmation on, and nothing has been publicly revealed. So they are set to reveal something at some point. I still stick to my guns. I believe at Slammiversary, we are getting the official announcement. I've been saying that for a long time. I genuinely believe that is the case. From what I've heard, from what I've gathered, I've been told that would seem very likely. It would either be Slammiversary or Bound for Glory. At that point, who knows? But obviously, let's stay tuned. And this is why you should be subscribed, so that way I can keep you guys updated. And that brings us to some breaking news. Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins, their home was broken into. And this is just where things get really annoying and really disgusting and really shitty. A Southern California beach house that belongs to Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch was apparently burglarized earlier this morning on July 8th, according to a report from TMZ Sports. Now, WWE obviously has Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch on the road, so that means this break-in clearly occurred when they weren't there. Cops told TMZ that the couple's home was approximately hit at 3 a.m. The timing of it would make sense considering that they were just performing on Monday Night Raw in Rhode Island. Law enforcement says that no one was inside the residence at the time. The suspect or suspects reportedly gained entry by breaking through the home's rear slider door. Cash was taken from the residence, and according to the report, it was Seth Rollins who made the 911 call to report the burglary. As of now, no arrests have been made in connection with the break-in, and the investigation into the incident remains ongoing. Obviously, thankfully, Seth Rollins and Becky are safe. Their child is also safe, which is phenomenal news. But now this is going to be a relatively big investigation. This is not the first time that we've heard of home invasion, especially with pro wrestling stars. This is a constant thing that people have to be worried about. And it's kind of annoying, to be honest. It's kind of annoying. It's not a way for people to live. And it's really unfortunate that something like this happens. These guys, Seth and Becky, like, this obviously could have been much worse, right? But they're out on the road working, and this is the kind of stuff that they have to deal with. And then people get upset when wrestlers say, hey, we don't want to take pictures at airports. Like, you got to have a little bit of respect for people's privacy, man. I feel like with wrestlers, it's always just so terrible. And it becomes a big situation. So this is going to be a big investigation. We'll see what actually transpires from it. But of course, I'll keep you guys updated. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Ango Show.